Oh, here we are once again with our podcast. This is Anu.
And me.
Oh God, such a day.
It's such. Thanks, Anu. It's such. But yes, listen to our podcast. Masterclass on the rise and grind.
Brought to you by
SLTC, empowering minds, shaping futures.
All right, so Mr. Impett, good morning. Welcome to the show, and we are so glad you're here.
Hello. Yeah, that's it. You're not getting along.
Why? Why? Because of the short jokes?
Yeah, and for everyone who
That's
doesn't
it.
know, Impett has been brandishing all kinds
Within this year, we've done 3.
Wow.
Wow.
I'll give you the background to that. Okay?
Yeah,
That was a
okay.
conversation that happened. They were like, okay, Machang, what do we do? How do we go about this and whatever? So we were, obviously, whatever you're doing, you need to sustain, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's all good to have a blockbuster event.
Yeah.
But it's also important to have an event that people will keep remembering.
Yeah, I
So,
agree.
then we all...
And they'll want to come back for more, obviously.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there was a cohesive agreement that we should not do just the one.
Okay.
We should do at least...
Like one a year.
Yeah. Instead of that, we should try and do at least one a quarter.
Yeah.
And-
So does it go to different parts of the country or how does it work?
Well, that was the initial plan.
Okay.
However, resources are still not in abundance.
Yes. And it's not as popular as you would like it to be, especially among sponsors.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we need to just break that little hoodoo, but we need to give a shout out to our sponsors as well, who's been with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if I'm allowed to do it on national radio right now.
We'll talk about that.
Yes.
We also have a commercial break, so we can.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. But
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say though is that the few people who believed in us, that's amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Actually, I have tremendous respect for people who get on the bandwagon before it becomes the bandwagon.
Yeah.
Because that shows that you have vision, that you have integrity, and that you've strategized. And also at the same time, okay, I've got to ask you this. Now we need to take this break, but what we're going to talk about next is you're paying your fighters and you're paying them well.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that when we come back.
Excellent.
All right, all of that next. Your time is 9:20. Good morning.
All right. So now we've done a bit of adjustment inside the studio. So Rosh. People can't be doing a job, in a 9 to 5 job, and then working out in the evenings.
It is difficult.
Yeah, you need to be really, really committed if you want to get to that international level.
Absolutely.
Okay? So this can't be the side gig.
No, it cannot.
Yeah, it has to be the main thing you do.
100%.
Yeah.
This is why we were so thankful for our corporate partners who come on board, and kudos to them for believing in us.
Yeah.
And I keep going back to this, but I really got to put it out there. Kaushika, Ilham, Naushali, and Dayan,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The heart that they have is huge, right? Because they're all out to give back to the sport.
Yeah.
We're not taking anything. We're not looking to making big money. We're looking to just break even, make sure that we take care of, of our talent.
Yeah.
Yesterday, there was a meeting I had with another potential partner who actually came on board with us. And they were like, listen, what do we do and blah. And I said, at the end of the day, I said, all I want from you is a bit of support and a bit of love.
Yeah.
And they gave us the support and love.
Super.
Right?
But what do the sponsors stand to gain from this?
Obviously, we get the mileage.
Yeah.
They get the mentions. That's a standard package that we give them.
Yeah.
Right? There is branding at the venue. There's branding on our digital. There's branding on our television.
And so what kind of audience are we talking about? Who consumes this?
We're looking at a very interesting sort of audience.
Okay.
Starts from about 16. When it goes up till about,
101?
145.
Yeah.
101, 102.
I mean, who doesn't? I mean, fighting has been there for thousands of years. People have been fighting for entertainment for thousands of years. Going back to the gladiators. I mean, boxing, pugilism has been around for millennia, right? Wrestling has been part of the first Olympic Games.
There you go.
So you know what I'm saying. So fighting is inherent. And viewing fighting is inherent. But I think, you know what? This kind of fight has made fighting even sexier than it used to be.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
we're bringing the sexy into everything.
Absolutely. Right. And it's only rightfully so, right? That things have to evolve, because what appealed to our grandfathers is not going to appeal to us, and it's not going to appeal to, our future generations.
100%. I need to take a side step here. What was that little groan you made over there? Nangi me? Dana ringe ka tha nimesh aate ko aava.
Shyam, I got another question for you, and I think this is really important. So I've been an advocate as well for the whole sports
you
scene in
have.
Sri Lanka for a long time, and I love the fact that you are affiliated with AFSO, which is with Diane and the rest of it, because one is we've always realized that when you match fighters, you've seen there are different leagues in Sri Lanka, but the biggest obstacle is that those fights are not matched, number one.
Yeah.
And then the risk to the fighters, number two, and that risk basically translates into a massive brand hit for all of us.
Absolutely.
So it's really amazing that you have tied up with this. What was your train of thought behind that? You wanted to
World Series, but they play it internally. You really don't know how good you are until you fight in the world. So you got to actually, flex your muscles and then say, you know what, bring me the best of what you got, and then we'll see where we stand.
Yep.
So how did that happen now? Because you've got Pakistani fighter, Indian fighters, and Netherlands Nordic fighters. How did this happen? How did this become suddenly international? Because you can't call it a local event anymore when you've got international fighters coming in.
We only had two local events. Actually one, in fairness.
Yeah.
Because we had the second one, we had Kaberi coming in and taking on Nimesha Kumari.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that was one hell of a fight, bro.
Yeah.
I've seen in movies where they just do the spinning back kick and then people just go flying back with their hands stretched like, in Kung Fu Panda and everything.
Yeah.
I saw it happening in reality, and then I saw how stunned and shocked this Indian fighter girl was.
Yeah.
Kudos to her. She's a good fighter in her own right, but there was no match for Nimesha.
Yeah, wow.
Anyway, I'm digressing.
Yeah.
What was the question again?
the international nature of the fight. How did that come about? Yeah.
We, thanks to AFSO and Diane and his contacts and everything, we kind of thought, okay, you know what, let's bring in some flavor here.
Yeah.
Because like you very rightfully said, there's no point fighting only in your little league, right?
Yeah.
We needed to spice things up.
To see who the Lord of the Ring is. Yeah.
In March, we had the Openweight Championship, which is the first in Sri Lanka. Okay, anybody could come and challenge anybody.
Really? So it's like a novices tournament?
It's not a novices tournament, but it was like basically saying all the all the champion, like all the top fighters, join the Openweight.
Yeah.
And then everybody was given a pick of a number. They picked a number and I would say, okay, Amare, I want to fight you.
Yeah.
I really don't want to fight you, man. Probably put me in a headlock or something.
My trainer is in the corner there.
So, hypothetically.
Yeah, okay.
So then there was this guy there were two Georgian fighters as well who came.
Wow.
So Tazo said, you know what, I'm going to get into the open weight fight. And he got into the open weight fight. And he challenged Sri Lanka's top-rated fighter, Malinda Amarasinghe.
Right, really?
Also known as Boyka.
Oh, yeah.
And in that fight, the card was stacked against Tazo, who's like, 21, 22 years old.
Yeah.
Malinda is like a veteran.
Yeah.
And in the first round, he knocked him out. He fell like
Who knocked who out?
Tazo.
Wow.
He fell to the ground like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah.
That was painful to watch, I'll be honest.
It was. It was more than that. It was shocking to watch.
Yeah.
Right? Because you expected to have a really good fight.
Yeah.
But that was also the international flavor coming in here.
Yeah. Wow.
Right? Inexperienced fighter versus an experienced fighter.
Yeah.
But you need to understand that, at the end of the day, we as Sri Lankans, our bodies are built in certain ways. These guys, Georgians, they live in Georgia, they fight on the streets. It's in their DNA a lot more than ours.
It's like challenging a crazy Irishman to a fight.
100%. So the conversation happened. Maybe we should open it up.
Yeah.
So we opened it up. There were people who are writing to us on our Instagrams and our socials and our emails and saying, we want to be a part of this. So it's okay, fine.
Yeah.
So we checked them out. We did a background check. We looked at the number of fights that they've had.
Yeah.
And whatever. And then we matched them up with whoever we had over here.
Absolutely.
Let's go with this.
So they all belong to a certain fight league in their country. That's what you're saying.
They do. And from India we got some fighters coming in last time.
So why not invite the leagues themselves?
We'll get there.
Okay. So that's the challenge, right? Where the Sri Lankan League or whatever you want to call it, KFL challenges multiple clubs in the world.
The ultimate vision is to have an Southeast Asian championship.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're looking at that.
No, but at the same time, I've got to say, this part of the world has some of the best fighting forms, known to man, known to humanity at this point. And you know what? I've had this conversation with you before, Shyam, where basically, Japan, the national sport is judo.
Yes.
And, now judo is not a combat sport per se. It's more about repressing or, putting people in locks and, throwing them and like suppressing them. But you know what I mean? These fighting forms are thousands of years old. And, it's only, I would love to see that South Asian or like, let's say Asian fighters getting into the highest forms of fighting in the world and where they get highlighted, So this is obviously the platform that you have created for Sri Lankan fighters also to get to that stage. All right. Now, while saying that, we've got to also welcome another guest that's just walked in.
So, Prizzle Fernando, welcome to the studio. Now, Prizzle is a well-known name in the combat sport industry. I'll be honest, I'm a fan as well. And he trains out of MCC Colombo. I've seen some amazing fights. I've seen him knock out a couple of people in his day. And this is going to be an exciting fight. So, Prizzle, welcome.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. So quick thing, Prizzle. Just tell us, how did you get into this? What your training routine is like, some very, very basics, and what you aspire to be.
Yeah. So eventually, I was listening to the initial set when you were talking, and I also did have anger management issues at first. So for me to get into the scene after school, I was wondering where I can kind of put my energy into,
right?
And because I'm a person with a lot of hype, right? So I wanted to get into something. I thought martial arts would be the best thing to kind of make me disciplined and get me into that path.
Yeah, channel your energies in the right way.
Sort of. So right now, I've been training for about 9 years now. And it has been amazing. I train sometimes twice a day. But I of course work full-time as well. But now I'm hoping to get into the martial arts scene.
Full-time?
Full-time, yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Exactly. And now that we have events and, organizations like KFL, it just makes me want to do even better and drives me and motivates me to do better. Yeah. So that's where I'm at right now.
On another note, Prizzle, you have very popular female following from the little I'm hearing. So off and on the stage, I think it's bringing a lot of eyeballs to the sport.
I mean, some people think it's cool, some people think it's violent. I just think I like both of it. I like it being cool, I like it being violent, and that's what I like to do.
Hold up, wait. Are we talking about the female following or the sport?
So, Prizzle, you know what? Like you said, you mentioned that you had some anger issues, as a young man.
Yeah.
So now, when you're fighting, do you ever get angry?
Not really. Now I get paid to fight, which I like. Back in the day, I don't get paid to fight, and I thought that was really, because I am a good fighter. I was born. I fight with a lot of things. It's not just fighting in general in life and in a lot of things in school life. I was actually bullied when I was a kid. Yeah. In school as well, so that also got me into the scene, and I always wanted to stand up for myself and confidence-wise, esteem-wise, and. Yeah.
Do you ever feel like confronting some of those bullies right now? I mean,
I've seen a few. I wish I could.
Have you not confronting?
For it now,
not violently, but you can just say, you could just like drop in and say, hey.
Well, I think they already see where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
So that
ideal time
intimidates them,
Yeah, ideal time to say, "Aye, again."
I would love to. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie.
Or just get someone to stand behind them with a round one and like, we gotta go.
I think they see for themselves. All the social media and stuff like that.
That's the best kind of come up on things. You know what I mean?
No,
where you actually turn out to be, and then you're like so calm and collected, like in front of them.
Yeah,
that's brilliant. And that's one great way to confront like childhood bullying or any kind of bullying. Prizzle, and the thing is this, right? Okay, let's talk about. Is the government backing this?
I think now they are into that sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think, Shyam, that is something that we need to work on, right? Where because they need to see the potential of, the government getting involved in something that can actually generate money, generate brand awareness, keep Sri Lanka top of mind, and actually get more tourists in here.
So, just to answer your question, the government backing, we met the previous sports minister. Mm-hmm. He was all out. And he said, yes, let's do this. And, let's back you guys. Because he also understood
how important this is, because this is a global phenomenon.
Unfortunately, there was a lot of drama going on at the time. Obviously the presidential election and everything.
Because, all of the, parliamentarians are up for Oscars at some point or the other. Because, so much drama.
No, in the sense, actors. Yes. But in this case, there was the presidential election and all those things. So
that's another drama.
Yeah. So we couldn't necessarily go ahead with what we wanted to do. But I'm telling you now, it would be good to have the government backing going forward. Because with what we've done with KFL is, right, like you said, we've attracted an international fighter base. Yeah. We are attracting an international audience.
Absolutely.
Right? We are also looking at making Sri Lanka a combat destination.
Absolutely.
Right? We also are the proud owners and creators of Angampura.
Yeah, I mean Sri Lanka. Yeah, of course.
Right?
Yeah, for thousands of years. Yeah.
Right. And then, we would like to impart that knowledge across.
Yeah.
We would like to have these things happening as well.
Are there any Angampura fighters taking part in KFL?
Brazil, do we know anybody with the art? No.
They're
maybe
very.
not yet.
I know they're very cagey about it because like I said, I mentioned this before. I was supposed to do a movie, Kueni, back in the day, and for that we were supposed to have. Everyone was supposed to get 2 weeks training
Right.
at that Kaduela village of
Yes.
Angampura, right? But it never happened because the director and producer fought, and it never. This is Sri Lanka.
They had their own pora.
They had to decide to have a own Angampura thing going on there. But you know what? I know that they're very, very cagey about actually putting that information
I mean,
out there.
yes, obviously it's a national art, right?
Yeah.
I mean, not more that it's a cultural art.
Yeah.
So, but now we've got to also be a little bit more open-minded. I think one thing with KFL is that we've managed to break a lot of
Absolutely.
restraints
These
and
little
chains
hoodoos and kind of biases. And at the same time, what I'm trying to say is you made it sexier.
we did.
You made fighting really, really
I
sexy.
mean, look at this specimen next to me.
I'm not talking
I mean,
about
actually, honestly, I mean,
Yeah.
I've competed a lot of events, right?
Yeah.
But KFL has done it in such a way, in an intentional kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Where I feel like I'm fighting the UFC right now.
Yeah,
You get
that's what
I
I'm
mean?
saying. It's so much-
The
it's-
production to
Yeah.
all of that is just amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to be a part of it.
Absolutely.
And I want to continue to be a part of it as well. And I want to also, kind of give out a good performance.
Yeah.
So it's
Because
not just
people
about
are-
coming and fighting for 3 rounds
Yeah.
and wasting your energy.
Yeah,
it's
that's
about
true.
entertaining the crowd.
Absolutely. And they're paying good money to
good
see
money,
you.
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm getting paid as well.
Yeah.
It's a professional
I agree.
organization.
I completely agree.
So yeah, that's where I'm at right
Yeah.
now.
Let's talk about longevity. What kind of lifespan does a fighter have? Like, you know what I mean? In the fighting
Yeah.
arena. When
I
do you
think-
quit?
Yeah, so most fighters, they do fight until about 35, 40.
Yeah.
You get some fighters fighting at 45 as well.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of fighters at that range, but it also depends on how motivated you are.
Yeah.
And for me, of course, I'm hoping to fight until I can.
Yeah.
And,
Until you are unable to fight.
Unable to.
Yeah.
And if that's 70,
Makes sense.
I'm happy with that.
So I always say, Anu, that there's a small culture in Sri Lanka. We say that we have a handful of fighters.
Yeah.
Anywhere, any place, anytime, any rules. So Prizal, Malind, all of these guys follow. You go and tell him there's a fight. He won't ask who the fighter is, who is
Okay.
going to fight. He'll be like, when, where. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's how a fighter should be.
Yeah.
We should be ready for anything.
Yeah.
And anytime, any place. And that's where I'm at as well.
All right, you know what? This has been a tremendously entertaining and enlightening conversation. And Shyam, to all you guys, there are so many other people involved in this behind the scenes. So many other fighters, so many people involved in the organizing of this. And I'm really, really glad that you guys have actually put your minds, your money, and your energies into creating the KFL and into creating this culture, because I think this can only grow from here. And it can only grow into international stature from here. Certainly, that's our wish for you. And I do hope that it goes from strength to strength. Pardon the pun. and that that truly that we actually have a Sri Lankan champion in the best of the best fighting league, in UFC, in wherever. One day a world champion. Why not? That's the dream, right?
I was actually coming to that point.
Yeah.
We, on Saturday, are going to make history as we crown Sri Lanka's first open-weight champion.
Right.
Right?
Excellent.
And at the press conference, people kept saying, Kurunagalada, Nuvarada, and whatever.
Yeah.
So Sylvester was next to me. I whispered to him, Machan, Kurunagalada dinnat, Nuvaraka dinnat, matakamanne. Antima Lankawa
Lankavani Dinan, yeah, that's true.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's the bottom line. Sri Lanka must be victorious in this.
Yeah.
Guys like Prizal and all, they're young, they got a good thing going on. They've got, they got the face of fighting,
Yeah.
and they've got the thirst for it.
Yeah.
Right? By face, I mean, he represents good.
What do you mean, a pretty face? Or what?
I mean, you don't get that very easily. You don't get a good-looking specimen
Yeah,
he's got
who's
the walk
also a
and the
good
talk.
fighter. he's got the full package.
Yeah, because
so why
otherwise
not-
it can't be like you're saying like Dinamaka Hamine donning on the gloves, is it?
I mean,
That was an extreme there.
I love that lady.
Yeah,
She's one of my
who
favorite
doesn't? Who
actresses.
doesn't? Yeah.
Bro, Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying,
Right?
but the thing is, when you say the face, you mean the
Yeah,
face.
exactly.
Right? Yeah.
So What I'm trying to say is like
Yeah.
we are taking it a step forward.
Yeah.
Maybe two, right? We want to show you that we mean business.
Yeah.
We're creating opportunities for our fighters. We're getting girls fighters like Nimesha Kumari, we're getting them endorsement deals
Yeah.
where they don't have to work. They can just focus on their fighting.
Absolutely.
We're
And
work-
you know what? And kudos to the corporates that actually kind of see this vision because they're so forward thinking. That's brilliant. You can actually,
Right? And then
Yeah.
obviously Roshan was talking about how he's been a part of this for the
Yeah.
longest time, right? And he's been an advocate for this,
Mm-hmm.
right? And if not for what he has done, and as well in the background, he's like a proper shadow, right? He's done a lot of work where nobody gives him enough recognition for.
absolutely. That's
But-
why he does a lot of shadow boxing also.
There you go. But yeah, and
Seen
Prison
knock
was.
out people. So
And the idea of matching talent to talent starts from what this gentleman tries to do here. Okay, so we've got to give credit for that. And we
Yeah.
need to also honor our predecessors. Right?
Okay.
And because of everybody, like KFL is here today as a collective of everybody's efforts.
I agree. Nothing really happens in isolation.
Exactly. So this is like, we're not just trying to come and say, oh, hey, we're the man. We're not. We're trying to say we're here collectively, cohesively. We're thankful to everybody who's come on board.
Absolutely.
Fox.
Yeah, of course. I called you, right? I
Yeah.
called you and said, I heard this is happening, and it was actually Roshan who told me that this was happening,
Yes.
and we decided, you know what, we are on board. You didn't ask us, we came to you, right?
100%.
That's because we believe in what you're trying to do, and that's the way it should be.
And one quick thing before we go, Shyam, I think you'll also agree that the biggest heroes in this entire thing are the dojo masters. Because see, without the dojos in Sri Lanka, like I've dealt with, Sri Mal, Sensei Rohan, Crew, Kunjan Sensei, there are so many names out there. They create the fighters, they believe in the fighters. This is an industry, like we say, it doesn't bring in a lot of cash to the dojos itself. They train, they put in their heart and soul, they build the fighters, and that is an amazing culture that we have that we can build on.
Absolutely. So this is why I said we need to honor all of those people,
Yeah.
right? And our dojo masters, everybody, because they do so much of work behind the scenes, right? We've come here and we're obviously going to put these guys in the front, and we're going to back them, and we're going to make sure that we bring and pack them to be Sri Lanka's best fighters going forward.
Absolutely.
And with the help of our corporates and our media sponsors and everybody else, I'm sure we can get there.
That's the
Definitely,
wish.
definitely.
And we're also working on one Angampura fighter.
Oh, brilliant.
Coming soon.
We'd love to see,
Yes.
to see.
Nice.
But thank you, gentlemen, for joining us on the show and, outlining all the plans for the future and exactly what KFL stands for and fight culture stands for in Sri Lanka. So we wish you all the best. Prizzle, I hope you're fighting this Saturday?
Yeah, I'll be fighting on Saturday.
So, best of luck, man.
Yeah. I invite everyone to come on the 26th, though. You're going to find full fun and,
Yeah.
event, action-packed
You're
event.
inviting everyone. All I get is calls from ladies.
I mean, they invited too.
I feel like Prizzle's partner is already stretching in the background of this interesting.
Shivaru, my but, yeah.
And remember, tickets are flying off.
Yeah,
So, like
yeah.
hot cookies or hot kyaum or whatever that we enjoy.
That's true.
Either
And that's
give us
the way
a
it should
call.
be, yeah. So
And,
tell us when it's happening. Saturday evening at 7 p.m. at Taprobane, yeah?
This Saturday, 7 p.m. onwards, Taprobane.
Yeah.
Be there and witness history in the making as we crown a new champion. A few Sri Lankans taking on a few internationals, and India. Hopefully an India-Pakistan clash, but I don't think that's going to happen. But
That might be a little too violent.
yes, so we will put that for later. But the future is great for us.
Brilliant. So best of luck, guys. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. And with that we conclude Masterclass because we have to talk about our sponsors. So guys, don't go anywhere because we need to take a couple of photographs, with you, and we'll promote the event on our socials as well. Moving on. We've got to talk about our sponsors. And before that, Sajini has informed me that we have to take a break.
Masterclass on the Rise and Grind.
Brought to you by SLTC, empowering minds, shaping futures.
So that was our podcast. I hope you liked it. Now wait for the next one.
All right, bye.